review of F1 2016 on release day. So release night, I know. And I think it's safe to say it's been very much anticipated by everybody.
Yes, definitely. I've been sitting at work all day, chomping at the bit.
And I think after the last 2 renditions that we've had, there was a lot of focus on this to be good, because it's the last year of Codemasters licensing, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, it is, yeah. So it's their last bite of the cake, you know?
And I think, if I'm honest, I think they've done enough to guarantee exactly where it is. So we've jumped in. We've just got a quick race. We'll race it and talk at the same time. Quickly before we start those, you can see now you've got the race strategy. It gives you a couple of options for your tyre management, your fuel load going into the race, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, and you can adjust your fuel load as well, so you can have ridiculous amounts of extra fuel.
Or absolutely no fuel, and you can save like a mother the whole way through.
Yeah.
So let's start the race, and then we'll jibber jabber. So,
here we go on the formation lap.
So we've got manual race starts now, which is quite a nice touch, and it's not. I wouldn't say that the start mechanism is particularly difficult. You know, it is only a case of holding the upshift, and you can overtake.
Yeah, which I'm going to have to in a minute.
I've just overtaken Kvyat. Yes, you can overtake under or on the formation lap. It will it'll just drop you back into position afterwards. It's very unforgiving if you're unlucky enough to hit somebody during a formation lap.
Yeah, as I found out on my first attempt at it.
And I mean, I think in general this year it is ridiculously unforgiving in general. I mean, the curbs, you've really got to be careful. It's from the car weight about, and that's not a criticism. I absolutely love it. I think it's a brilliant touch. You know, the big curbs are causing problems.
The old sausage curbs.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's been one of them things that's been, it's been highlighted in the season this year, and to have that physics put in is incredible. The safety car, Shawnee, you're the only one who's experienced a safety car at the moment.
Yeah, that was fun.
What happened to your front wing?
Yeah, I went into back a bit.
Under a safety, but I mean, again, it's a brilliant thing that you've got that control. Am I going to get?
Yeah, which you didn't have last time when you had the safety car. You didn't get the control.
So,
which was a nuisance.
Yeah, up to temperature trophy.
Yeah, I got that as well.
I've not, as of yet, had a virtual safety car. So
no?
how?
No, I've revived actually. So
how that works, or how well it works, I'm not entirely sure. What? There's a yellow flag off the line.
Slow starter, I reckon.
The damage physics have been seriously updated as well.
Oh,
the car is
nothing you lose you, but an end plate or you can knock the end plate. I mean, I've had wheel tether. I've tested it out, and tyres holding on by the tethers.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of attempts at Baku as Valtteri is proper hanging in, and yeah, the damage physics in that are absolutely second to none. And I mean, as you can see with Verstappen's just spun me out.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, it's the damage physics are so much better this year.
Right, we're underway.
World champions.
Confirmed.
Don't worry, I haven't written the car off in the World Champions.
Yeah, so that shows the damage physics and the aggressiveness. I mean, Bottas not bailing on me at all there. You know, last year he'd have just bottled it. Which
this year they don't give a monkeys.
No, but I think on the drive-through penalty split, I thought the pit lane line was a lot further on. So again, you can do that. I mean, I done that intentionally just to show exactly what this, what you can do this time round.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but yeah. So the AI is a lot more punchy. They're a lot more aggressive. They will still bail, but not as much as they have in previous renditions. I think the aggression level is at a point that it's good. It's not. It's not Crash de Maldonado.
Yeah, it's not over the top that they will just knock you off the circuit if they need to. So I mean, I think absolutely everything. I mean, I was streaming some of this earlier, and someone said, you know, how does it compare to 15? And I don't think there is. I think that it's so vastly improved over the previous renditions that it makes it virtually impossible to compare it. Because it's so much better. You know, I mean, I've been on it now for 3.5, 4 hours, and there's no, as of yet, I've not found anything that really bugs me. Any major issues, you know. I think you can nitpick a couple of teeny tiny things, but nothing that affects gameplay or the enjoyment of it. You know. No.
I actually feel now that there is enough with the AI difficulty to actually race. I think even with last year's, I felt like you were either winning every race or, you know, didn't matter what difficulty you put it on, there came a point in the race that you were just out on your own. Whether that be in the front, the middle, or 300 miles behind everyone else. Where this year the punchiness of the AI is seemingly Well,
I'm trying to go through the final corner alongside the signs.
I'm literally going into turn 1. I'm the yellow flag. Yeah, I mean, I felt like all the races that I've been actually racing cars, I've not been just sitting there racing for 4 laps and then just going around in a procession.
Yeah.
I think the big discussion point for the major thing that's back and working incredibly well is the career mode option.
Yeah, definitely. That was the biggest feature missing from last year.
Yeah, because no matter.
In fact, you could do one season at a time as one of the actual drivers.
Yeah, and it needs to be you. I mean, that's the only way you ever feel truly like you're doing anything is when it's, you know, it's your name you're seeing up on there on the screen. And
you've been offered a contract by Mercedes and
yeah. I would have liked, if I'm honest, and it's more nitpicky than complaining. I would have liked if it had gone back with the young driver test.
Oh, nuts! Weren't watching what I was doing. I've just written the car off. Oopsie.
Yeah, I'd love to have seen the young driver test come back, just purely because I'm sure there's plenty of people who are just going to start their career at Mercedes, and it seems pointless, but it'd be nice to sort of go, oh, I've got my initial drive, safety car.
Oh, I bought out a safety car, did I?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oops. Well, let's watch you under the safety car then.
Am I like literally a second up on the... I'm just going to floor it. I'm green plus 3.5 seconds from the delta time.
Well, you should be able to catch the pack up.
Well, yeah,
Or be at
that's
least
the thing.
allowed to.
And I slew down, and I seem to be going so slow. I was like, surely that's not the... I mean, I'm about to get lapped. I'm just going to keep flooring it, and if they tell me off, they tell me off.
Yeah, just floor it, mate. Because then at least it gives a good sort of tester on the game. This is good. I'm watching you on the race director thing. And I'm guessing you've got the racing line on, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why.
It's not showing.
No?
Last year it showed.
Oh, I have only got corners on, actually.
Yeah, but even the corners aren't showing, mate.
That's alright.
That's a lot better. Because that used to bug me a bit, although you have to
Oh,
post it.
Jesus. There's a safety car there, people. Oh, do you know what? That's a bit of a gutter that I ghosted to avoid it. That'd have been pretty nifty if I'd just gone around and creamed the safety car.
The safety car.
And
that's why you don't floor it under the safety
oh, that's brilliant. I absolutely soiled myself there. But yeah, let's go back to career mode. So, you know, you can pick your team, you can go wherever you want, you can set an avatar, you can go into the, to your own helmet, and that's it. And I do actually think, looking at this helmet that I am, this ain't Rogro's helmet.
No, that is your own.
Yeah. Which again, I think, you know, for the online and that, it just helps keep you, and everyone else themselves.
That is one thing I haven't tested yet, is the multiplayer.
Well, the hopper system's gone, so it should be much improved this time round.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's go through the career features. So you've got your agent, lovely lady she is. She's called Sun as well.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I can't remember.
And yeah, I mean, you're going to go through the R&Ds there, so the free practice sessions are crucial. Really, if you're starting at the back, you need to get them R&D tokens, make them improvements. You know, when you're picking the team, it sort of gives you a rough idea. You know, if you go at someone like Ferrari, it will say, you know, championship within a season. I was mucking about with
championship 4+.
4+, yeah, and the same for sort of Renault Sauber. The only thing that I'm not sure, and I've not really been able to find much online to confirm it anyway, is how the R&D passes over as the years progress. Whether, in theory, Mercedes, or, you know, it's always going to be Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull as your top three teams, and it's just your team improving. And if you leave, say you start at Manor, you get them up to a team that's sort of 4th, 5th on the grid, and then you leave, is what happens to their performance level then.
Once you've left, yeah.
That will be interesting to see, and how the other teams progress throughout the season. But the rivalry setup, obviously when you start, it gives you your rival as your teammate, and you literally every aspect of your race weekend is compared, and your rivalry standings and your team standings are sort of heavily adjusted as the weekend goes on. You know, you have a bad qualifying session and it does hit your team standing quite hard. Which,
yeah, see, I haven't got far enough yet to discover this, but you know, I've failed a couple of the practice R&D things.
yeah,
You know, and that's very unforgiving. You don't get that right, the whole thing's gone.
yeah. Which again is a really good thing, because Formula One is a very unforgiving sport. You know, I think this year, especially with Kvyat, that it's really just gone and proved how unforgiving the sport is.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And the
I
game
mean,
is proved that as well.
yeah, and the fact it's a 10-year career, I think, fallen too far back. You're kidding me, Mike?
Doesn't look like you're that far behind.
Well, not considering I was a lap behind a minute ago.
Oh, there we go. Slow down!
Just to prove it. You can
Get back
overtake.
behind him.
So I think the career mode has been done incredibly well.
Definitely,
There you go.
definitely agree with that one. Yeah, career mode's better. The handling system, you hit them curbs, you are in serious trouble.
Yeah.
You take too much curb in a corner, you are gone. You're in the wall. Twice I've written the car off tonight, just by taking the curbs like I would have done in last year's game. But you can't anymore. You can't attack them curbs, because you are going to end up back end gone in the wall. You know, and the same with, as you said earlier, Rob, with the grass. You put a rear wheel on the grass. Oh, there you go. See, look, prime example of too much curb.
Yeah, and the car will literally just take off over some of the heavy curbs.
Oh yeah, definitely. No one doing.
But I mean, Max isn't... He weren't giving up round there, where last year the AI would have bailed on you straight off.
Yeah, are you actually racing then?
Yeah, there's no safety car, mate.
Oh yeah, of course you are. Yeah, it's going much quicker now. Yeah, the other rest of the group's going quicker. At least you didn't get caught napping like I did in my career, mate. Oh, a lot of dirt there.
And I'm also finding that
you didn't get a lot of last year.
The gears are a lot faster at coming up on you. Last year you got such a long.
The seemed a lot.
Yeah.
A lot less, didn't they? Oh.
I think I had every right to hold that position.
I couldn't see exactly where he was in your.
But mirror. Again, I think it's just shown again how punchy that AI is.
Is. Oh, it's definitely a lot better, massive improvement. Very rarely did I have duels with drivers last year, and I've already had one tonight.
And I mean, I done a race earlier on the career mode, Australia, first race of the season, funnily enough. Good place to start your career. And off the line, going into turn 1, NASA just blitzed it. You know, and there was an almighty pile up, and Rio. You know, that's something that was never there. Was AI mistakes, really? Retirements. You know, I've had Lewis drop out of a race. You know, and that's what it needs is as well for me to change gear from time to time. But again, it was just something else that was lacking last year. That's been patched up and sorted out. You know, the AI's punchy. They'll make mistakes. They'll force you off the, you know, they'll say force you off the track. They'll force you to the limits. And if you are napping at any point, it's so brutal. And their manners are not sad.
They've got a lot of straight line speed, haven't they?
Oh. But again, I mean, last year.
Was that
yeah, I tapped Harrianto. I mean, last year I'd have been able to drive through that foot down.
Yeah, you just can't do it now, can you?
But I mean, look at Max. He's all over, absolutely refusing to let up. So the racing is racing. You know, you can race the AI and you don't feel like you're racing a programmed computer. It changes its attack. I mean, like last year, you could dive bomb anyone. You know, it didn't really matter what car you were in. Brake 10 meters later, and the position was yours. Where this year, you can't. The AI seems to sort of look and go, oh, actually, he's going to dive bomb me. And they adjust, you know, they go a little bit slower into the corner to get the better traction on the exit. And they'll just overtake you again. You know, and it, like I say, it really does feel
like you're racing.
Yeah,
that
it
Red
doesn't
Bull's
feel like
quick.
we're sort of just training. Ooh, I thought he was going to tank slap with him.
I did as well. I had a bit of a panicky moment. The pit strategy throughout the race. I mean, if you saw when I lost my wing, they're coming over the radio. Do you want to change strategy? If you're getting towards your original sort of, your pit call, and you think, actually, I'm going to keep going. Where last year it just carried on with the same pit strategy, even though you went 5 laps further into it. This year they're coming over the radio. They're asking you, and you've been able to make that decision. There's also
before you wouldn't.
nah. I mean, there's a lot more voice commands to Jeffrey. He's a lot more vocal, and he's giving you useful information. There was a lot of times last year that I felt that Jeff was talking just because they kind of felt like they need to keep him talking, and he was boring me at times. Where this year he is sort of going, look, the car behind, there's a 4-second gap. Oof, Jesus wept. His last lap was a 1:20. And okay, well, I'm not, I'm lapping this much faster, this much slower, and you can really adjust yourself and your pace to it. You're seeing sort of not necessarily just car failures, people retiring, but you're seeing people have engine issues. They're having performance problems, and you might get a 5-10 lap period where the car that you're trying to chase down is underpowered.
Yeah.
And again, it's something that it was needed. There was not really any AI failures last year. I mean, there was virtually no retirements.
I only ever saw one engine blow.
Yeah.
And the whole time I played that game, and I put some serious hours into that, and I saw one engine blow.
I'm even on the exit, that's a Manor. I mean, it's a Mercedes-powered. Forgot what button my DRS was. I mean, it is Mercedes-powered, so it's no slow coach, like you say, on the straights. It's got... Ooh.
Corner there somewhere.
There is somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, the career mode, I really feel like I sort of thought, I wonder if this R&D stuff's going to be a bit... and I mean, in the past, they've sort of said that there's an R&D, but I genuinely don't think there was. I think they just put pretty pictures there for R&D stuff. I never felt like it was making an improvement.
No.
And, I mean, the first improvement I put on the Renault was an engine upgrade. And I do feel like the car was that little bit better. I was taking the fight to the cars around me much more.
Yeah, yeah.
And with the session objectives, I was like saying to you a few moments ago, last year if you had a freak quali session and you put a Manor on pole, your race prediction would be to win or come second. And the second race I had at China in the Renault, I qualified in 9th, which, let's be honest, is a freak position for a Renault, the second race of the season. And my race position, although it was slightly improved on Australia, it wasn't ridiculous. It was something that you looked at and went, actually, with the car and the pace, it's achievable. It was something like 40, it went from finish 17th to finish 14th. And Jeff's coming over the radio saying, look, be careful on the race start, you've got much faster cars around you.
Yeah.
So it does feel like, the sort of, the team are happy that you've done well, but they're being realistic with it still.
Realistic.
They're not sort of, oh, you've done a freak occurrence and you've really gone, you've now got to win the race in a manner.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm glad it did bring the safety car out of Canada, because it kind of has to.
Yeah, that's to be expected there, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And Baku, no matter how good you think Baku's going to be, it's better.
Yeah, I haven't actually driven there yet.
It was.
That
I'd
is
done
on the
about.
to-do list.
I'd done a couple of laps at Canada because I have to. And then I went to Baku. And it is just a brilliant circuit. It's done so well. The racing is brilliant.
Yeah,
Oh, Rosberg's binned it.
I didn't even see it. I weren't even looking at the time. Numpty.
So, but again, you know, it does seem like F1 is really trying to help us show off everything. You know, he's off on his own. There's not another car there, so I don't know whether he's missed his braking zone or he has had a collision with someone.
It is quite possible.
But it is showing that, you know, the AI can, will and do make mistakes.
Yeah.
The slipstream,
As long as it's not too frequent sort of thing, you know.
well, the early releases that a few jammy people had, what it was. I mean, there was safety car all the time, and Baku, to be honest, weren't being silly.
Right.
You know. Oof.
That end looked like it was looking to come out from underneath you there, mate.
Yeah. And I mean, even the DRS run up. When I sort of saw that, I was like, "Who's gonna want that? You know, that's just stupid." But it is kind of handy, especially if you're racing tracks that you're not familiar with.
And it doesn't bleep in your ear though, does it now?
No.
I haven't heard it bleep. So you do need it.
And then, just going back to the R&D, I know we're sort of flying all over the place and that, there's no structure to this. But the R&D, when you do the track acclimatisation and you're going through, all, you know, you drive round and you have to hit like apex markers on the, you know, little gates and drive through, and depending on how square you hit it, you either get a good score or a perfect score. And after you've done it, it sort of shows you how you've done. And it shows you your reaction time to the DRS zone.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't actually notice that. I have done a track acclimatisation.
I noticed it mainly because it come up with 0.02 seconds.
Sure. Oh! Easy, Tiger.
But I mean, you know, this is a strong midfield car. And, okay, we're not wheel-to-wheel racing, but Verstappen behind is still keeping me honest. Oh, there's a corner there somewhere, people. And even Alonso in front. You know, I mean, this is the same difficulty mode that we had for last season. And, I mean, you think how we done with From the Back. I genuinely think if we redone From the Back on this year's model, it would be a lot harder.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't... I don't think we would be in with a chance of winning the championship. No matter how much faster that Mercedes is, just with the style of the AI...
I mean, look, Hamilton's in 9th.
But I mean, that's pretty true, because I mean, I genuinely think that's true in real life. I think the Mercedes has shown great pace when they're leading a race, and when they've had to fight in traffic, they're still strong. Don't get me wrong, but they're not where, you know, they're not as clearly dominant as they are in free air.
No, no.
And I'm going to have a little nitpick here with Jeffrey. I've found Jeffrey quite often answers the wrong question. I think this year, where there's so many voice commands, it does get a little bit confuzzled at times. And you'll say, like, you know, I think it picks up on keywords, so you might ask for, like, tyre update, where it's actually tyre status or something like that.
Yeah.
And because you say update, it then goes and tells you the weather.
Race update, or yeah.
And another quirky thing is the fact that you can ask Jeff, who am I racing? So you get that midpoint of a race. I mean, after this stop, I mean, we're sort of out of sync with the rest of the field for pit stops. And he's not necessarily going to tell me the car in front, because I might not be racing the car in front. I might be racing the car 4 cars back or 4 cars further forward, because the way the strategies have worked out.
Yeah.
That was really lame.
That was
So I
pretty
think,
slow.
yeah, I mean, aside that, you can see they're going across the line. The pit boards, I mean, it's nice that they're there. How on earth you're expected to read one, God only knows, and how the drivers do it, I don't know. But like I say, Jeff gives you so much information now that you don't. It's just sort of like the pit boards. It's nice that they're there, but
You can't really use them.
nah, you couldn't race to a pit board on here.
They're just too small, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know how much longer I'm going to hold this Red Bull up.
Not very long by the looks of it.
Oh, done it again.
Especially not now.
These tyres are pretty deaded on me. But I mean, if I bring up the menu,
Ooh,
we go.
He's just tapped it.
So I mean, you can see that there's, you know, my next tyres are super softs. I can scroll down, I can change those. My fuel mix is back in. The brake bias, the diff, downforce, everything, you know, it is tweakable on the fly.
What's your inside and pits? You're not pitting?
Not yet. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to pit.
Well, it's
So
got a
yeah,
green light on your pit.
tyre wear, I mean, I can see my front right's at 35%. And I'm doing, I'm not even looking at where I'm racing. Temperatures are all back on there. You know, I can see that if I pit now, I'm going to rejoin in 19th. My pit window's 21 to 29, so we're falling nicely into our pit window for this lap, which I think we need to, because these tyres are absolutely deaded. There we go, who am I racing? But I mean, you know, Danny Rick bailed a little bit on me there, but he didn't bomb out like they do, or like they did last year.
No.
Last year he would have bottled that straight away and been sort of 2 seconds back, where this year he dropped off and was straight back on me in the next corner.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to get drive through again. That pit lane line's a lot earlier than I think it is. Oh, can we have another safety car? But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, I genuinely can't find serious fault with the game. I didn't even realise I damaged my front wing.
Did you?
Well, they're changing it.
No, they haven't on my screen.
They have on mine. That's why I had a 8.5 second pit.
Yeah, that was a bit strange, that. Watching the replay, you came out the pits to start with.
And then jump back in.
And then you jumped back in.
Best lap. He's not going to tell me he's sulking now. Fastest lap. Sure, I saw something. There we go. Still not going to tell me, Jeff. Okay, well, I found one little bug with the game. It went green like it knew what I said, but Jeff didn't respond.
Yeah.
The other nifty thing with the rivalry system works really well. You know, you can see exactly how you're doing sector by sector, session by session with your rivals, which is cool.
Yeah. Like I say, I haven't quite got that far yet. What are you pitting again?
I've got drive-through.
Oh.
I do like the manual pits. I think that it gives you this massive room to gain and lose time.
Even better if you could pull into your pit box and stop on your marks.
Yeah. Well, a few people had I'd seen online, a few people had sort of said maybe about going back to like the Championship edition where you had to manually push to change tyres.
Press the buttons. Yeah.
See, now, to be honest, I don't think it's possible nowadays with the speed that they are. Yeah, and if you're pushing out 4-second pit stops, I mean, that's miles in F1 terms.
It is nowadays.
Yeah. But I mean, even the pit stops, they seem to be on the mark for timing on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the handling changes are phenomenal. The sense of personalisation, if that's the right word, you know what I mean? You know, when you're doing your career, the sense that it is your career and you are doing it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely made things a lot better.
You know, it is so much more exciting. The driving style from AI, again, phenomenally done. So, I genuinely can't find a serious fault with the game. There's nothing that I'd say, you know, release date, oh, that's buggy, that needs patching, or that needs patching.
Yeah, unlike last year.
And a year before. Well, the year before was just missing loads. Like last year's.
It was just a rehash of 2013, just different skins and different sound, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we've covered what we can.
Yeah.
Having not, like I say, having not done the online mode, like against other people. I mean, we've not had any lag issues while I was still racing. Not that lasted long, but
no. So yeah, I think if I genuinely out of 10, go on, Sean, what do you reckon? What do you score out of 10?
I'd probably give it a solid 9.
See, I would genuinely go 10 out of 10. I can't find any serious faults. Everything I'm loving about it. The few little niggly things that are there, they're niggles. They're not enough to destroy the gameplay. I think it really is the F1 game we've been waiting 3 years for.
Yeah. Well, having not played it for as long as you have, I mean, let's face it, I had what, hour?
If that, yeah.
Before we did this. So I'm very reserved at the minute. Not reserved, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's still stuff that I need to try.
Yeah. So I mean, Shawnee will be doing multiplayer. You tend to do that a lot more than me. So we will, once that's been played, I'm sure Shawnee will pop a little video on with just a multiplayer review, how that works now they've changed away from the hopper system.
Yeah.
I think if you're
I will certainly do that.
Yeah, I think if you're an F1 fan, it is an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, I can agree with that from what I've played.
I mean, I paid both of us, I think we paid 42 quid.
Roughly, yeah.
So for a new release game, I think the pricing's good, the quality is there. It will be nice if there are in-season updates, as was promised with previous, but didn't really seem to happen. It'd be nice if they do continue to patch to show the relevant car evolution throughout the season.
Well, the thing is with that, is it really worth it with
the career mode?
The research and development?
Yeah, unless someone makes a major jump forward.
It should only really come into effect when you start a new career.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, if you're an F1 fan or just a motorsport fan in general, whoo, then I would highly recommend going out and buying this game.
I just got a penalty for that as well. I wasn't even looking at the screen. So yeah, I think we should probably end it about there then. So
yeah, I mean that's a wrap.
Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's been informative. If you've got any questions, drop a line in the comments. If you think different to us, drop us a line in the comments and let us know. And as ever, thank you for watching. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out, it helps us grow, keeps you up to date with what we're doing. Follow us on Twitter at 1sgaming and at 1sgaming extra, on Facebook at 1sgaming official, on Instagram at 1sgaming, and online at www.1sgaming.co.uk. And I'm going to park up and say bye bye.
Catch you later, guys.